You know what? I could take a brief moment to talk about Pokemon 2. Waiting on the new patch for 14 to release, so that's kind of in a lull. And while watching videos, I came across a few of those can you beat X with Y videos, and generally I like them. The Fallout ones are pretty awesome, but the JRPG ones I always hate. Like, of course you can beat Final Fantasy 1 with all white mages. It's a JRPG. Barring specific choke points, you can just outlevel your problems. So what does that have to do with Pokemon? Those are the worst offenders in my opinion. Those single Pokemon challenge runs are always filled with so many caveats that it just offends me. So screw it, I'm going to take a crack at it. So here's the rules. What Pokemon can you solo the game with? As in, you use one Pokemon the entire duration of the game from Pallet Town onwards. Nothing else, no item restrictions, stall with potions if you have to. Short answer? None. In order to beat the game as intended, you need access to Cut, Strength, and Surf to get past certain choke points. Neither Squirtle, Charmander, nor Bulbasaur get access to all three of these moves. Squirtle, Charmander, and Bulbasaur are your choices for starter Pokemon. You can't progress past Pallet Town without a starter Pokemon. So that's that. Challenge incomplete, it can't be done. No, using HM Slaves would count against the challenge as you are using another Pokemon. It's nerf or nothing, baby. So that begs the question, if you cheat just a little and give yourself a Pokemon of your choice as starter, what Pokemon could beat the game solo? As established, we need to be able to use Cut, Strength, and Surf. So which Pokemon can do that? Well, you've got 4 choices. Krabby, Kingler, Lickitung, and Mew. You need 3 move slots for the HMs, leaving 1 slot left. You don't need Fly or Flash, as they're both convenience abilities. So at the moment, you have 2 normal moves and a water move. Fortunately, there's no type combinations in Pokemon Red and Blue that completely wall you. Normal can't hit ghosts and does less damage to rocks, but water will hit ghosts for neutral and rocks for super effective. So that's even more good news, and as mentioned earlier, you can always outlevel your problems and heal with items if the challenge is just to solo the game with one Pokemon. But which one will have to cheese the least? Well, Mew, obviously. It has the best stat spread of the 4 and can learn any TM and HM in the game, leaving its 4th move slot open for anything you need to counter whatever you're dealing with. Mew would only have a problem early because it can't hit Brock's Rock-type Pokemon very hard, and it doesn't get a non-normal move until level 40, and you won't find useful TMs that early either. But you can always over-level until a normal move does decent damage. By the time you got to Lieutenant Surge, you should be alright to clear the game. Krabby and Kingler would have the easiest early game, but would get power crept by Mew. Kingler has 130 base attack, but Mew's even 100 spread serves it better. Krabby and Kingler only get normal water and ice type offensive moves, but that's really all they need. Lickitung would actually probably clear the early game a little better than Mew due to Wrap and Supersonic. Level Lickitung faster than the problems you're running into and cheese with Wrap. He'd be worse later though, just due to having the worst stat spread of the options. You'd pretty much have to use cheese strategies like Toxic and Wrap Stall with Lickitung to beat the game. Now, if you were watching the video instead of just listening to it, you saw me put an asterisk by the word none when I was talking about what starter could solo the game. If you use a save corruption glitch, you can actually beat the game in about 5 or so minutes without ever grabbing a Pokemon. But you basically don't play the game except for running through some menus. So there you go. Can you beat Pokemon Red and Blue with only one particular Pokemon? Not within the bounds of the game's intended play. You either have to cheat a different starter or use save corruption to bypass the entirety of the game.